Welcome back to Good Day and Mother Knows Best. We just left off talking about a story that's going on right now where a school has suspended a young boy for shaping his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. And according to the little boy, he just held it in the air, but apparently he's had multiple things going on where they've tried to discipline him, and this was the last straw according to the school. But we left off, Janet, and you were sharing your opinion.
Well, other than the fact that I love Pop-Tarts, but they have to be the unfrosted, not the frosted kind.
Thank you, I'm with you.
You know, little boys from, you know, as far back as I can remember, have played cops and robbers, and, you know, and we're, I don't know, I just think the politically correct thing it has kind of run amok. We just saw the piece on Target who's asking their customers not to carry their guns in the store.
Which is funny because it's Target. I just think it's a little ironic.
That is funny. I just
ironic.
yeah.
Side note.
And you know, I have a concealed carry permit, so I guess they have the right to tell me that I can't bring my gun in because it's their store. But I think this whole, it's just divisiveness, and it's like if we're against guns, we're gonna take it to the extreme, and we're gonna go over here. For 4 guns, we're gonna take it to the extreme, and nobody can have any common sense and meet in the middle. Little boys are gonna play cops and robbers, and little girls too.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. But now, if you know this child had been told repeatedly, I get it. I just question why that's just coming out now.
I wanted to ask you guys too, the little boy said, from the little boy that actually did this, he said he bit around the square of the Pop-Tart, made it in that, or he said he wasn't purposely trying to make it in the shape of a gun, but it looked like a gun, and he said he held it in the air. He said, I didn't say bang, bang, and I don't know what the school's perspective is on this, because they didn't share that part, but to me, I'm just thinking he's sitting there at lunch playing around, but where is the part where he was disrupting Kira? I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
I have an 11-year-old. He was 7 at one time, and I mean, a lot of times, even when we told him he had to be quiet, it would be, I can see my son at home, and he'll, hey, this looks like a gun.
Right.
You know, doing something like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, because that's what boys do.
Right.
Except that report that they showed said classroom behavior, classroom behavior. So where did this happen at lunch, or was it in the classroom?
I don't know.
Which might, you know, make a difference in what's going on.
But again, I have to say, when I eat my Pop-Tart, I eat around the outside first because
do you make shapes?
And then I do, because I eat all the hard crust on the outside first because the good stuff's in the middle, and then I start eating the middle. So it could, I thought it looked like the state of Florida. I didn't think it looked like a gun.
Well, there
you know, so it just, to me, this is much ado about nothing.
Well, you know what? I know a lot of parents, and I had that mindset in the beginning with TJ, that you know, they were to the point they were like, well, I'm just not going to buy my child toy guns and so forth. When I was little, I was a tomboy. I mean, I had the little green plastic Indians back then.
And the soldiers and stuff. Yeah.
I'm like this. Your child can have the little plastic guns and so forth. Just teach them responsibility.
Right.
It starts when they're young.
Absolutely.
And when they grow older, it does not have to be a case. My son has the little water guns. He has this. But we teach them, you never point, even the play guns at somebody. You never put it in their face. You never try to go towards this. And maybe if we start, instead of being so afraid because of all of the bad things that happen, and start educating our children about, you know, what that poses when you do something like this in today's society that poses as a threat. So it really does start at home. I know the parents are upset.
Even while they're young, because apparently, you know, when they're in school, it's gonna have repercussions.
It's gonna cause a stir. It is.
So how do you think, from the parents' perspective, again, the school has said that there's been multiple times when they've had to discipline him. So what do you think is going on the parent side of that? Do you think the parents were informed?
I don't think the parents were listening. I think that they were those type of parents, not my little Jimmy, Johnny, or whatever his name was, and they saw this and they wanted to make the school look bad. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because this is what they took to the media. They didn't take the other instances to the media, but this was something.
And apparently they haven't dealt with the other instances either, because the school had to keep, you know,
exactly. And then the little boy, I didn't hear him say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," or whatever. It was, I was just doing this. Don't teach your children excuses. You can't take that chance today because somebody else who's paranoid may do something to your child later on. So teach them.
And then make excuses.
Exactly. Exactly. So the parents they didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But we'll never really know unless you're on the inside, because my gut still tells me this is, you know, I don't think these parents would have gone forward with it if there was really, truly a lot of other issues going on, and unless they're really not you
Well,
know.
I think there's too many parents these days who do the not my Johnny.
Not my Jenny.
But you know, if teachers can't discipline in the classroom, and when they do, you know, there's a
the parent goes up there and exactly.
Whereas I used to get a spanking at school and then at home.
Yeah.
You know.
And then on the bus, if the bus driver was young.
There you go.
I know, Janet, you had mentioned in the past too, we've talked a lot about, you know, schools getting rid of recess and playtime, and that's making the kids more hyper because they have all this energy. So
especially boys, they need to, I mean, physically need to get that out.
And especially after they've eaten a Pop-Tart.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, so.
Oh gosh, they're going to be taking cupcakes and Pop-Tarts. Sorry, so you may need to.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry, kids.
Yeah, I mean, boys, they do. I mean, I have a son, and he's like 10 boys. Jesus knew I only needed one because he's still a lot of energy. They need that.
Yeah.
we'll be back in just a little bit talking about 4th of July safety coming up next. Welcome back to Good Day and Mother Knows Best, talking about Independence Day tomorrow and safety for you and your family. So what do you all do to make sure your family is safe on 4th of July?
Okay.
Just start, Janet.
Well, we're renting the barn down in Pelham, which is a really cool place, but they have like a lake and all of that. So if there are little ones that are small enough that need to be watched, we'll do the lanyard thing where whoever is, you know, responsible, because it'd be real easy for that child to toddle right over and fall in that lake, and then all of a sudden we're looking and where's the child. But my big beef on the 4th of July is the fireworks. I had a son-in-law wind up in the hospital from do-it-yourself fireworks. And even sparklers are dangerous, and you just have to be really careful. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our four-legged babies and fireworks. And I have one dog that is so afraid of thunder that we are now at the point she is on Prozac and Xanax and a thunder shirt to get through thunderstorms. So can you imagine what tomorrow's going to be like for us? So keep that in mind. And the other thing they do, puppy Prozac. And the other thing to remember is if you do have a pet, that this is when 4th of July is when more dogs go missing than any other day of the year, because they get freaked out and they run out the door and they go and they hide and you never find them again.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I just got educated on some things. I mean, Travis, if we do fireworks, Travis handles all of that. I'm just going to make sure that there's plenty of lettuce, cheese, and tomatoes for the birds. You know, but he handles all of that, and especially with being safe around the pool. I had a cousin few years back. He actually drowned. They were actually swinging on the rope and down into the river, and it was an undercurrent. So just be responsible. You know, when it comes to that, I'm not a big swimmer or anything like that, but please be responsible and talk to your teens if they're going to be going out and hanging out with their friends for the day and going swimming. And of course, no underage drinking. If you can avoid no drinking, don't drink. Drink some Kool-Aid or something. That's better for you anyway.
But this is a big drinking holiday.
Exactly. And be safe.
With the heat
when
and
you're driving, not only
the,
drive for you, drive for the next person. Make sure you watch out for other people on the road.
Yeah. This is the first year we're doing like that. We're going to a friend's house and doing backyard fireworks. And because we usually go to a show, you know. So I'm a little concerned about it.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm going to make sure the kids are, you know, back up. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how they're set up or anything like that.
Fireworks, they scare me though, because once they go up or whatever, it's just like
where
are they
I'm
come
good.
down? Yeah.
No, once they're up, I'm good. It's that initial thing. And we were at a campground one year. This was years and years ago, and they were doing fireworks at the campground. And they had them all on a table, and they were shooting them from a picnic table. The whole table went up.
Oh,
I'm so glad we were like way far. Yeah, you do.
Don't experiment. Please don't try to do anything wild and out and so forth. People are always trying to come up with these Best Buy commercials. And
in my mind, leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
And the other safety issue, I'd say, is food safety, because like we're having this huge spread. It went from being, I'm just going to have hot dogs and hamburgers and chips to I've spent about $500 now on. We're going to have pork roast and barbecue pork and all this stuff. But you have to be careful about how long you leave it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful Independence Day. We'll be here tomorrow at 5 a.m. We'll see you then. Thanks, ladies.